maybe you're thinking about taking your Cane Corso on vacation with you.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It is. But we're going to be realistic.
Yeah.
Traveling with a dog that's this big.
It's a little more than just tossing a chihuahua in your tote bag.
Right. Like, it takes more planning.
It does.
And we have a lot of resources, actually, about Cane Corso-friendly vacations, and we're going to try to, like, distill it down to, like, the most important stuff so you can actually enjoy your vacation.
Absolutely.
And not be worried about your big, furry bodyguard.
Yeah, one of the biggest misconceptions is that a Cane Corso really limits your options.
Right.
But with a little bit of savvy planning, you can absolutely find destinations where these gentle giants are not just tolerated, but truly welcomed.
Okay, so we're not just talking about any dog-friendly hotel here, right? These are, like,
Yeah.
some of these destinations are surprising.
Absolutely. For example, imagine your Corso exploring the rolling hills and hiking trails at Blackberry Farm. It's a luxurious resort tucked away in the Smoky Mountains.
Nice.
And they're known for being incredibly dog-friendly. They even have dog-specific hiking routes, so your Corso can burn off some energy without you having to worry about bumping into a bunch of tiny yippy dogs.
So not just, like, dog-friendly, but Cane Corso-friendly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a key distinction.
Yeah.
What about, like, something a little more coastal?
Well, for those who prefer, like, the salty breezes to the mountain air, there's Inn by the Sea on the Maine coast.
Okay.
They've got dedicated dog walking trails that lead right to the beach.
Oh, wow.
So imagine your Corso splashing in the waves.
I love it.
And this is where it gets fun.
Okay.
They offer a special canine connoisseur menu.
Wait, hold up. Gourmet meals for your dog.
Gourmet meals for your dog.
Like, my dog eats out of a plastic bowl kibble.
I know.
This is, like, next level.
It is.
Okay.
And this is why researching destinations is so important.
Okay.
It's not just about finding a place that allows dogs. It's about finding a place that understands the specific needs and, let's be honest, the size of a Cane Corso.
Yeah, because pet-friendly can mean a lot of things.
A lot of things.
And those little dogs aren't facing the same challenges as a Cane Corso.
Right.
What if somebody's looking for a really, like, wide-open experience?
Well, if you're thinking big, check out the resort at Paws up in Montana.
Right.
It's on a 37,000-acre ranch. You can literally get lost there, which could be fun or terrifying, depending on your sense of direction.
Yeah.
But seriously, for a Cane Corso that needs space to roam, it's pretty much paradise.
I'm getting some serious vacation envy right now. But before anybody books their plane tickets,
Yes.
I think we've got to reiterate what we've already said.
Yes.
Check those policies.
Yes. Call the specific location,
Right.
not just the general reservation line.
Yeah.
Ask about breed restrictions, weight limits, any additional fees. And be specific, like ask if they have rooms with direct outdoor access or fenced yards or maybe even ground floor options if your Corso isn't a fan of elevators.
I've heard horror stories of people showing up at, like, supposedly dog-friendly places, and then their dog's an inch too tall or a pound too heavy, and they're turned away.
Exactly. Don't let that be, especially with a Cane Corso, those size and weight limits can be a real factor.
Right.
And remember, things change. Policies get updated, staff changes over.
Yeah.
A quick phone call can save you a lot of headache.
All right, so let's say you're not into the whole hotel scene. What about, like, vacation rentals, Airbnbs?
Absolutely.
Are those options too?
In many cases, a rental might even be a better fit for a Cane Corso.
Okay.
You often get more space, you get a private yard, maybe even fewer restrictions. But again, read those listings carefully.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. Check, double check, call, and triple check.
It's all about setting realistic expectations and planning for the needs of your Cane Corso.
Okay.
You might find the most stunning beach house, but if it's got a tiny spiral staircase and your Corso is scared of heights, that's not going to be a relaxing vacation for anybody.
All right, so we've got our destination figured out. We're feeling confident about the place we're going to stay. What's next?
Well, before you even think about packing your bags, schedule a visit with your vet.
Okay, so a checkup for the big guy.
Exactly. Make sure all the vaccinations are up to date. Get any necessary health certificates, especially if you're traveling across state lines.
Yeah.
Some states require specific documentation even for domestic travel.
Good point. And it's a good opportunity to talk to your vet about any specific concerns you might have about traveling with your Cane Corso.
Absolutely. And while you're at the vet, double check that microchip information.
Okay.
Make sure it's up to date with your current contact info. You never know what could happen on the road.
All right, so vet visit is done. Microchip is good to go. What about all the stuff we actually need to pack for a Cane Corso?
Right.
Besides the obvious food and water.
Well, think about those things that will make your Corso feel at home.
Okay.
Their favorite bed, a couple of well-loved toys, maybe even a blanket or towel that smells familiar. All those familiar scents can help reduce anxiety in a new environment.
That's a good idea. I know my dog gets really attached to his ratty old blanket.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of comfort, what about travel gear? What do we need for a Corso on the move?
A sturdy crate or car harness is essential, and it needs to be appropriately sized for your Cane Corso.
Okay.
They're powerful dogs, so you need something that can handle their strength and keep them secure whether you're driving or flying.
So no flimsy crates from the discount store.
Right.
So,
I'd personally recommend mention specific brand recommendations here.
good.
They're known for making high-quality, durable crates and harnesses that are designed for larger breeds.
Noted. So I'm picturing like the road trip scenario.
Hmm.
My Cane Corso gets restless after like 5 minutes in the car. How do we handle long drives?
Plan for frequent breaks.
No.
Cane Corsos need to stretch their legs, brain off energy, and, do their business.
Right.
Look for rest stops with designated pet areas, or even better, find dog parks or trails along your route.
You don't want a bored, energetic Cane Corso stuck in the car for hours.
No, you don't.
That's a recipe for disaster.
It is.
What about food and water on the road? Anything specific we should keep in mind?
Stick to their regular diet as much as possible.
Okay.
Changes in food or water can lead to tummy troubles, and the last thing you want is a car-sick Cane Corso.
Yeah.
Pack plenty of their usual food, and I always recommend bringing bottled water. You never know how the water quality might change from place to place.
That's a really good tip.
Mm.
I know I get picky about water when I travel, and I guess dogs could too.
Absolutely.
While we're on the subject of potential issues, pack a first aid kit, specifically for your Corso,
Yes, good idea.
like antiseptic wipes, bandages, any medications they regularly take, just in case.
Good thinking.
I feel like being prepared is key here.
It really is, especially with a Cane Corso. They're big, strong dogs, and even minor issues can become more challenging to manage when you're away from home. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, flying.
Oh, yes. Air travel with a Cane Corso, that's a whole other level of planning.
It definitely is, and unfortunately, it's where things can get tricky.
All right, well, let's dive into that right after we take a quick break. We'll be back in a flash to tackle the ins and outs of air travel with your Cane Corso. Stay with us.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about flying with your Cane Corso.
Yes.
So before the break, we were saying, like, this is where it can get a little tricky.
Yeah, because unfortunately, a lot of airlines have restrictions on larger breeds, and a Cane Corso might not even be allowed in the cabin due to their size.
Right, and it's, like, heartbreaking when you get all the way to the airport and then you find that out.
Exactly.
So what do we need to know to make this experience, as safe and as comfortable as possible?
So rule number 1 for air travel with a Cane Corso, check those airline policies.
Oh.
I mean, thoroughly.
Yeah.
Don't rely on hearsay or what you saw somebody else do.
Right.
Call the airline directly.
Mm-hmm.
Explain the breed, the size.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared to ask very specific questions about their policies for large dogs in cargo.
So most Cane Corsos are going to be traveling in cargo,
Right.
just because of their size.
It's just the reality of it.
Yeah. So what do we need to know to make that as comfortable as possible?
So first and foremost, you're going to need an airline-approved crate.
Okay.
And I don't mean just any old crate.
Right.
It has to be big enough for your Corso to stand up, turn around, and lie down comfortably.
Right.
There are very specific dimension requirements, and those vary by airline.
So this is like an investment piece.
Absolutely.
Like we're not skimping on the crate here.
It's like their own little travel condo.
Right.
You want it to be sturdy. You want it to be well ventilated.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be big enough that they don't feel crammed or restricted.
Okay.
I would recommend checking out the International Air Transport Association's website.
Okay.
They have a whole section on pet travel
Okay.
and guidelines for airline-approved crates.
Perfect. So we've got the crate. Now, how do we actually acclimate our Cane Corso to being in this crate, for an extended period of time?
Start early.
Okay.
Don't wait until a week before your flight to introduce the crate.
Yeah.
Make it a positive experience. Feed them meals in there, toss their favorite toys in there, and gradually increase the amount of time that they spend inside.
Okay.
You want them to associate the crate with good things, not stress and confinement.
You don't want the crate to become like this negative, scary thing right before you have to fly.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the crate training down. What else?
And while we're on the topic of pre-flight prep, Let's talk about exercise.
Okay.
A tired dog is a calmer dog,
That's true for any dog,
especially a Cane Corso.
especially Cane Corso.
Yeah, so before you head to the airport, give your Corso a really good workout.
Mm-hmm.
A long walk, a vigorous game of fetch, maybe even a trip to the dog park if they're social.
Okay.
You want to get them nice and tired so they're more likely to relax during the flight.
So we've got the crate training down.
Yeah.
We've exercised them into a blissful state of, exhaustion. Anything else we need to do before we hand our dog over to the airline?
So make sure the crate is properly labeled with your contact information,
Okay.
your Corso's name. You can even add a little live animal sticker for good measure.
Good idea.
And here's a tip that I learned the hard way. Attach food and water bowls to the inside of the crate.
Oh, so they have access to water,
Yeah.
if there's a delay.
Exactly.
Okay.
But here's the thing. They need to be empty during the flight.
Okay.
So
Got it.
use bowls that can be securely attached to the crate and filled from the outside.
Yeah.
There are some great designs out there that are spill-proof
Nice.
and even have a spring-loaded mechanism that releases water as the dog drinks.
Oh, that's brilliant. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Okay, what about things like bedding and toys in the crate?
You can definitely add like a familiar blanket or a towel,
Okay.
and a durable chew toy or two is usually fine.
Okay.
Just avoid anything that could be a choking hazard or get tangled up. You want it to be something that they really love and find comforting.
So the big day has arrived.
Yes.
We're at the airport.
We are.
What can we do to make the check-in process, smooth as possible?
Arrive early.
Okay.
I can't stress that enough. You're
Yeah.
going to need that extra time to check in, get your Corso settled,
Mm-hmm.
maybe do one last potty break.
Yeah.
Airlines often have specific procedures for handling live animals, so factor that
This
in.
isn't like throwing a suitcase on the conveyor belt.
No, it's not.
Okay, so arrive early.
Arrive early.
Got it.
And then once you're at the gate, try to find a quiet spot away from the crowds where you can keep your Corso calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Talk to them in a soothing voice. Give them some gentle strokes.
I think I'd be the one freaking out more than my dog.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Remember that airline staff are trained to handle animals safely.
Right.
Trust the process. Ask questions if you need reassurance.
Mhm.
And focus on keeping your Corso as calm as possible. They will pick up on your energy, so if you're a nervous wreck, they're more likely to be stressed too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deep breaths. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So we said goodbye. We've handed our dog over to the nice airline staff.
Mm-hmm.
They've loaded them onto the plane.
Yep.
We wait.
We wait.
Okay.
And while you're waiting, maybe visualize your Corso napping peacefully in their crate, dreaming of all the adventures to come.
Okay. I like that.
Manifest those good vibes.
Yeah.
Right?
So the flight has landed.
Yes.
We're reunited with our Cane Corso.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do first?
Give them a thorough once-over.
Okay.
Look for any signs of injury or distress.
Mm-hmm.
If anything seems off, contact your vet immediately.
Okay.
But even if they seem fine, it's a good idea to give them some time to rest
Okay.
and recover from the journey.
So no rushing off to go explore the new city.
Probably not the best idea.
Okay.
Offer them some water, let them stretch their legs, ease them back into things slowly. They've
Fair.
just been through a pretty big ordeal.
Yeah.
So be patient and understanding.
I think this is good advice for traveling with anybody.
It is.
Yeah. You got to give people time to acclimate.
Right.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
From destination planning to air travel logistics.
We have.
But I think we need to step back and ask ourselves,
Yeah.
Even if our Cane Corso can travel,
Right.
do they enjoy it?
That's such a crucial question.
Yeah.
Every dog is different.
Right.
And just because a Cane Corso is generally known for being adaptable,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that yours will love every aspect of travel.
How do we tell if our Cane Corso is actually having a good time or just
Right.
tolerating it?
Right. Pay attention to their body language.
Okay.
Are they relaxed, playful, engaged with their surroundings?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they showing signs of stress, like panting, excessively whining, pacing, trying to hide?
And sometimes we can get so caught up in our own excitement of being somewhere new
Yes.
that we don't see those subtle cues.
That's right.
So what should we do if we notice that our Cane Corso is stressed out?
Don't ignore it.
Okay.
It might mean adjusting your plans.
Hmm.
Maybe you shorten that hike, you choose a quieter restaurant, or even opt for a more low-key day at the hotel.
Right.
The goal is to create a positive experience for your Corso, not force them into situations that make them uncomfortable.
So flexibility is just as important as planning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about finding that balance between sticking to your itinerary and being adaptable to your Corso's needs.
Okay.
And honestly, sometimes the best travel moments happen when you deviate from the plan and just go with the flow.
Yeah, I love that.
Maybe you stumble upon a charming dog-friendly cafe, or you discover a hidden trail that's perfect for a Corso-sized adventure.
Yeah, those are like the memories that make it, a great trip.
Right.
All right, so we've talked about destinations, accommodations, packing tips,
Yeah.
the complexities of air travel.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about planning, but also being adaptable.
Yes.
Anything else we should leave our listeners with before they embark on their next big adventure?
Yes. I think the most important thing to remember is that every dog, every Cane Corso, is an individual, even if your Corso can travel.
Right.
The question is, do they enjoy it?
That's a really good point.
So pay attention to those cues.
Yeah.
A stressed dog is not having a good vacation.
Right.
If you see signs of anxiety, adjust your plans.
Okay.
Choose quieter destinations.
Yeah.
Opt for shorter excursions, or even consider a staycation where they can relax in the comfort of their own home.
Right.
The goal is to create positive memories for both of you.
Yeah.
Travel is supposed to be fun and enriching, and that goes for our canine companions as well.
Well said.
Oh,
That wraps up our deep dive into Cane Corso-friendly travel.
it does.
We hope you found it informative and inspiring.
Safe travels to you and your Corso.
Happy adventures, everybody. Okay, so we're back, and I am so ready for a vacation with my Cane Corso.
Me too.
We've covered so much.
We have.
But before we wrap this up,
Right.
what else can we do to make sure this trip goes smoothly?
Well, one thing that people often overlook is packing a first aid kit specifically for your Corso.
A first aid kit just for the dog.
Just for the dog.
Like, what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Think about those, common minor issues that might pop up on the road.
Okay.
Antiseptic wipes, bandages,
Okay.
tweezers to remove, thorns or splinters.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some antihistamines for allergic reactions.
Oh, and what about tick removal tools?
Yes. Especially if you're going to be hiking or spending time in, wooded areas.
Right, because those ears,
Yeah.
adorable as they are.
Prime target for ticks.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so first aid kit is packed. What else?
Think about your Corso's personality and energy level.
Okay.
Are they a social butterfly that loves meeting new people and dogs?
Uh-huh.
Or are they more reserved and easily overwhelmed in busy environments?
Not all Cane Corsos,
Right.
have the same
Right.
personality.
Exactly. So tailor your itinerary to their personality.
Okay.
If you know your Corso gets anxious in crowds, maybe skip those packed tourist attractions and opt for quieter parks, trails, or even dog-friendly beaches where they can have some space to themselves.
And on the flip side, if you've got a super social Cane Corso,
Yeah,
take them to a dog park.
absolutely.
Let them meet some friends.
The key is to create an experience that's enjoyable for both of you.
Yeah.
A stressed out dog doesn't make for a very fun travel companion.
No.
And a stressed out owner isn't exactly living their best vacation life either.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about planning,
Yeah,
but I think it's equally important to be flexible.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best travel moments happen when you deviate from the plan and just go with the flow.
Okay.
Maybe you stumble upon a charming dog-friendly cafe.
Yeah.
Or you discover a hidden trail that's perfect for a Corso-sized adventure.
Yeah, those are the memories that make it special.
Okay.
So we've talked about destinations, accommodations, packing tips.
We have.
We've even covered air travel.
We did.
What else should we leave our listeners with?
I think the most important thing to remember is that every dog, every Cane Corso is an individual.
Right.
Even if your Cane Corso can travel.
Okay.
The question is, do they enjoy it?
Yeah, that's huge.
Pay attention to their cues. A stressed dog is not having a good vacation.
No.
If you see signs of anxiety, adjust your plans.
Okay.
Choose quieter destinations, opt for shorter excursions,
Right.
or even consider a staycation where they can relax in the comfort of their own home.
So the goal is to make sure that everybody's having fun,
Exactly.
you and your dog.
Travel is supposed to be fun and enriching, and that goes for our canine companions as well.
I love that. Well, that wraps up our deep dive on traveling with your Cane Corso.
It has.
Hopefully you found it informative and inspiring.
Safe travels to you and your Corso.
And happy adventures, everyone.